Okay, so today I'm gonna fucking destroy this piece of trash, this blue-haired piece of trash, Destiny. Alright? He's one of those bread tubers, Twitch streamer types who thinks he's very smart because he talks fast, like Ben Shapiro, right? He thinks he's very intelligent, and in this little shorts video here, he's gonna talk some bullshit about fathers, right? He's gonna spit on fathers, basically, right? He's talking some nonsense, okay? And I'm gonna fucking destroy him with facts, okay? So let's just view this bullshit here, and you'll see that he's just full of shit.
Children from a single mother household end up not doing well in school, end up more on drugs. Children raised by just a father turn out to be just as well as raised as in a traditional nuclear family.
Man, is it critical?
Those are just facts, by the way. Those are just facts that were just stated, okay? Now, I'm for shared parenting, right? Both parents should raise the children. That has the best outcomes. But it's objectively true that single mothers are a great danger to children, okay? Single mothers do the most child abuse, even fatal child abuse. That's just a statistical fact, okay? This is undeniable, undebatable, okay? So yeah, facts.
Piece to the development of any child, whether it's a boy or girl. You remove that.
He went the hard route. The obvious answer is if somebody's going to abandon a household, it's likely going to be the father.
Where's the evidence for that? Piece of shit. And yes, I call you a piece of shit, Destiny, because that's what you are. Where's your evidence for that?
Meaning that of all the single-parent households, single moms probably get the most because they're probably starting off on the worst socioeconomic position.
Yeah, you're using the word probably a lot of times. Where's your evidence? Stop playing so many video games and look into that shit, like I have, you fucking cunt. So let me show you some real evidence here, right? So women initiate divorce the most, right? And this has been shown by numerous studies, right? 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women, right? So, but you want to tell me that is fathers ripping apart the family unit, abandoning the family, right? And when it comes to deadbeat, the myth of the deadbeat dad, right? He's just voluntarily abandoning the family, doesn't care about his children, right? That has been debunked billions of times. That's a myth, that's a stereotype, okay? Usually what happens is that the father, he works his ass off, right? And the wife just removes him from the family unit, pushes him out of it, right? And divorces him, right? And gets child support. Child support incentivizes divorce, right? And this study here, this article really hits home that point that it is a myth that fathers abandon the family unit, right? So here's the myth of the deadbeat dad article by Stephen Baskerville. And it says right here, in the largest federally funded study ever conducted, the subject psychologist Stanford Braver demonstrated that very few married fathers abandoned their children. Overwhelmingly, it is mothers, not fathers, who are walking away from marriages and thus separating children from their fathers. Other studies have reached similar or more dramatic conclusions. Braver also found that when they are employed, virtually all divorced fathers pay the child support that they owe, and that the number of arrearages estimated by the government is derived not from any actual statistics but from surveys. The Census Bureau simply asked mothers whether they were receiving payments. No data exists to corroborate the mother's claims. As Braver found, there is no actively maintained national database of child support payments. Braver research undermines most justifications for the multi-billion-dollar criminal enforcement machinery, as well as the proliferation of government programs to promote responsible fatherhood. If Braver is to be believed, and no official or scholar has challenged his research, the government is engaged in a massive witch hunt against innocent citizens, innocent fathers. The system of collecting child support is no longer one of requiring men to take responsibility for their offspring, as most people believe. The combination of no-fault divorce and the new enforcement law has created a system that pays mothers to divorce their husbands and remove children from their fathers. Right? Child support slavery incentivizes divorce, right? And no-fault divorce also, right? By allowing a faithless wife to keep her children and a sizable portion of her former spouse income, writes Bryce Christensen, right? You can read the rest of your article yourself, right? But it is clear that women initiate divorce to get the child support, right? Or it's incentivized, right? And they get most of the custody, right?
Women tend to be the primary caretakers.
Yeah, and guess what? They do that. Meanwhile, the father is working his ass off, right? Working long hours at his fucking job to even maintain having a marriage, right? Or even to have a chance to be married, because women, they want the resources, right? They want the high status man. So the man has to work his ass off. And a predictor of divorce is unemployment of the husband, right? Or if the husband decides to stay at home to be the primary caretaker, guess what? What happens there, right? They get ditched by their wives, right? Thousands of men who have given up work to care for their children are being ditched by their high-flying wives, who wanted them to stay at home in the first place, right? So this stupid cunt here thinks that, oh, they're just deadbeat dads, right? And the woman deserves the custody because she's the primary caretaker. Meanwhile, he doesn't take into account the fucking reality that men have no other choice, right? Because women don't want men to stay at home and take care of the kids. Dumb, stupid motherfucker.
Women tend to be the ones that custody is awarded to. Men.
Yeah, awarded to on bias, right? Because the divorce courts are biased against men, right? And there are studies done on this as well, right? Discrimination in child custody battles, right? There's an overwhelming majority of children living with their mother than their father after parents' divorce. Not only are women more likely to receive custody of their children, they also receive a greater child support amount than a custodial father would, right? Women don't pay child support, even the small percentage of women that have to do that, right? Women who were not granted custody by the court pay a smaller child support amount than their male counterparts. This occurs since judges have a bias that makes them rule in favor of the mother in child custody battles, despite the courts being a neutral and impartial governmental institution. Okay? So this punk here, this blue-haired piece of shit, doesn't know what he's talking about.
Don't even usually fight for custody.
Yeah, why would they if they fight for custody, they know they're gonna lose, and most men don't have the money to fight losing legal battles, you dumb cunt.
My guess is going to be that in cases where men fight for custody, those are already exceptional cases. The father has enough money to do a lawsuit, and the
Yeah, exactly. But in most cases, men know that it is a losing battle, Because the divorce courts are run by feminists or tradcons who are anti-male and hate fathers. It is well known. It is well known. You piece of shit.
Father is probably exceptionally well ready to take care of a child. It's not surprising to me that single parent households that are headed by men, statistically on average, probably dramatically outperform single parent households with women, and probably not quite as good, but probably roughly on par with dual parent households. That'd be my guess. Anybody that's not a partisan hack should come away with that takeaway. The idea that like, well, men are just more valuable parents than women is such a dumb takeaway from that.
Oh, really? Really? So he's basically saying that it has only something to do with money, right? Even though there are statistics showing that single mothers are doing the most child abuse, right? Single mothers, not single fathers, right? Or mothers in general, actually, right? Or you can actually take another proxy measure of how good fathers versus mothers are, right? When it comes to, for example, parental alienation, which the fathers are the vast majority of the victims of, right? It's basically a man's issue. There are basically no female victims of parental alienation, right? So this piece of trash here leaves out much needed context, right? He's just saying, oh, women are the primary caretakers and that's why they are awarded custody. Yeah, because guess what? You have not told the full story here, right? Women initiate the most divorces, right? So yeah, man, I've not even planned that video, but just spontaneously saw that bullshit take by Bestiny, right? But I'm so sick and tired of this deadbeat myth that both tradcons and feminists like him push, right? So fuck you. And even titles Red Pill Debunk. You have not debunked shit. And I'm not even a red pillar, right? But you have not debunked anything here. So yeah, thanks for watching.